Go shower. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it when you wake up the next morning with a UTI or like some like mean yeasty and you're just like, why did this happen to me? Because you don't know how to shower. Because you didn't want to shower. I mean, are you well? I'm checking in. Hello, angels. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel for all my new subscribers. Hello, hi, my name is Asha. Welcome to the A-Team, baby. You are now officially an A-Team angel. I am very honored that you have taken your time to sit and hang with me today. So guys, this video has been highly requested. I don't want to waste any more time. You guys know the drill. Follow me on Instagram, which will be right here. And also do not forget to subscribe to this channel. We have a goal, 100K. We're coming for you. Okay, we are going to get our 100K plaque, and then I get to make my video and cry. Sappy stuff. Nonetheless, let's jump right into this video. So I want to state as a disclaimer, if you are offended by the word vag, vagina, these are educational terms that I will be using today, please exit the video. Great. Now that we have that established, I want to start by answering some questions that you guys have asked me when I posted it on my Instagram in regards to what do you want to know about feminine hygiene in general, as well as my personal feminine hygiene routine. So I saw a question about ingrown hairs and how to prevent them. So firstly, I would say inevitably you need to exfoliate your skin. Make sure that the razor is fresh and not dull. I personally use a man shaver, the same one that my dad uses essentially. Not the exact same one, but the same brand. So he uses the Gillette razors, and when the razor gets dull, you just change it. Like you click it on it and it just like goes into another one. I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but I use a man shaver, and also I always make sure that the razor is not dull and that I'm always exfoliating my skin before. Now again, guys, this is what I do. I'm not a gynecologist or anything. Let's also put that out there as a disclaimer. Everyone's method is going to be different. I'm not saying that my way is right. I'm saying that my way works. And it's worked for my friends as well. I also would say do not shave every single day, because I find that especially if you are a woman of color, or probably anyone in general, constantly shaving every single day, even like the little stub hairs that are just growing back probably the day after you shave, depending on how fast your hair grows back, you're just kind of chafing the skin over and over again, which could cause discoloration and irritation as well. I would also say using an oil, like you can probably put some drops of lavender oil and a little bit of tea tree oil. Actually, maybe you shouldn't put tea tree oil because it has a cooling effect. A little tiny drop maybe for the antibacterial, benefits, and like mostly olive oil, and rub that on there to help soothe the area after you shave and avoid any infection or irritation. So, but definitely lavender and, mixed into some other carrier oils. Next question I got was on discoloration. So again, I personally do laser hair removal. I should be way more consistent with it. I laser my armpits, and I also laser my Brazilian area, the whole thing. There's a certain laser that they use for people that are my complexion, like women of color. I don't remember what it's exactly called, but it's not really that expensive if you get it on Groupon. Of course, check, and research the place that you would be seeking this type of treatment for a hair removal treatment, because personally, I like laser. It has the feeling of, like someone plucking you over and over again. But in all honesty, it's way better than waxing is. I cannot tolerate waxing under any circumstances. Waxing is absolutely excruciating to me, and I used to do it, so I can talk. When you wax, the hair has to grow back, and then you wax it. When you laser, you can still shave. Actually, you have to, because you can't wax and laser, because laser has to kill the hair follicle of what you shave that you can't see. Does that make sense? When you wax, you're removing the entire hair follicle completely. So if you were to get laser if you were to wax and then get laser, there's no hair follicle to kill. So you have to shave and then get laser. And personally, I think that's very easy to attain because you don't have to wait till your hair grows back in order to even get laser as opposed to waxing. Next question I got is basically smelling good on your period. So when I was younger and I first started getting my period, my mom basically would teach me, about like bird baths. So it's essentially where I would sit on the edge of the tub and I would just kind of do like a bird bath where I would just clean, my vag, more frequently than I would regularly because I'm on my period, just to make sure that everything is not, bloody and, everywhere. And of course, not everyone can do this if you're not, home all the time, but you can also use wipes, which is what I recommend as well. Not Summer's Eve wipes and like whatever type of wipes they have. Regular baby wipes. Do not worry. Also, guys, every single product that I mention will be in the description box. You guys know I got your back. I always list everything. Don't worry. Personally, also, I want to point out, blood shouldn't smell. I mean, I don't know where, I don't want to say it's a stigma or a stereotype, but I personally have never experienced smelling on my period. So initially when people would mention this to me, I'm like, wait, huh? Like, what's the correlation? And if you are smelling on your period, it is 1, you are not washing properly. 2, if the actual blood itself has a bad smell, more than likely you have an infection. You could have bacterial vaginosis, which is when it kind of smells fishy or like metal, or just anything that's extremely pungent and unpleasant. But it's just blood. Blood doesn't smell. It shouldn't really smell any different than when you cut your arm and your arm kind of bleeds. I personally use organic tampons because someone asked me as well, pads or tampons. I personally use tampons. I don't like pads. I don't like the idea of wearing like a diaper. I don't really find it that sanitary in my personal opinion. I don't like the idea of sitting in blood. I just think that's kind of weird and messy. And I think that tampons, when you use them properly, changing them every, 3 to 4 hours, or if you have a heavier flow sooner than that, it's very easy to maintain. You don't feel it at all. And it's way less messy in my personal opinion. I personally also don't have a heavy flow period. So I use tampons and I never have any issues. Keep in mind also for my younger subscribers, tampons come in different absorbencies. So you have regular, you have super, and then you have super plus. And I only, again, use organic tampons. I will post the brand of tampons that I use in the description box as well. pH balance. Oh my gosh, let's please get into this. So in general, vaginas are pretty sensitive things. I mean, it's essentially, in a weird way, it's kind of like open flesh in a weird way, even though it's internal, it's open flesh. So it's very easy to kind of throw it off kilter, aside from, maybe your diet or, being intimate with someone that has very poor hygiene, or you also having poor hygiene, multiple partners, also douching. Like, what's happening with that? You will not be well doing that. I don't know what that is, but someone asked me about douching. Of course, I've heard of it before, but no, don't ever douche. Your vag does not need assistance cleaning itself internally. It's a self-cleaning thing. And inevitably, douching 100% will throw off your pH balance, because to my knowledge, I believe it gets rid of the healthy bacteria as well as the bad bacteria, and inevitably it just throws the whole thing off kilter, and you do not want to do that. So let's get a little scientific now, shall we? I should have put my glasses on for this. So a healthy vaginal pH ranges from 3.5 to 4.5. which essentially means there is a healthy balance between good and bad bacteria. However, when an imbalance in pH occurs, bad bacteria can develop, and hence you will develop irritation, infection, an odor, such as bacterial vaginosis, which is one of the most common types of infections, and especially in menstruating women as well. So that is where the fishy sort of smell comes from that you guys mention when it comes to smelling weird on your period. No. You're a little bit nose blind. This is harsh, but you guys know how I am by now. You did not magically start smelling on your period. You recognized it on your period, but it was smelling fishy more than likely already before your period started. You just didn't realize. And now that you have basically fishy blood pouring out of you, now you're starting to smell that pungent smell more prominently. So that's why pH balance is essential to maintaining vaginal health. So back to what I was saying about what could throw the pH off. For some people, it could be menstrual blood, which has a pH of about 7.4. It could also be tampons that absorb fluids for an extended period of time. So maybe also if you left a tampon in for, 6 hours or so, a crazy, extensive amount of time, that could also cause some sort of infection. Sex, like I mentioned before, can also cause some sort of infection, especially if there are multiple partners involved in any circumstance. That will definitely cause some sort of infection, bacteria, and irritation. Using scented soaps, of course, inside will definitely throw the pH off. Hanging out in hot tubs. I personally am not a fan of just hanging out in hot tubs. I've always kind of had this phobia of hanging out in hot tubs because one time this girl that I knew, she got this weird skin infection. It wasn't permanent, of course, but it just freaked me out. And it's just weird to me to sit in a hot tub with people and it's just boiling your skin and opening your pores with a bunch of people. I'm not really that much of a fan of that idea. Also, feminine products. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've heard of instances where girls are telling me that their pH is off because they were using those pH balancing sort of products, like the Summer's Eve wipes and soaps and all those things. Those types of soaps, for some reason, actually throw the thing off. That's what everyone keeps telling me. It personally never happened to me because I don't use those types of products, but I never really would. It was never necessary for me. So I personally would not recommend them. Another thing that could throw the pH off is hormonal imbalances, whether that may be pregnancy or even menopause. Birth control, such as the IUD or even the pill, could also throw the pH off as well. Or scented tampons and deodorants and certain sprays and stuff can of course throw the pH off as well. So you have to be very mindful, right? On the leveling up journey, quality queen journey, you have to be very mindful and aware of your body. Smell yourself, figure out what's going on, and don't be nose blind. I don't know if that's really that possible, but I'm trying to teach you guys in the best way that I can that there should not be a smell of, metal or maybe bleach or even fish. That is not normal. None of that's normal. If it smells weird and it's not normal. If it's musty, you have poor hygiene. You need to learn how to clean yourself better. And I also want to keep in mind, because different types of people are different ways, of course. I personally am a hypochondriac, so I don't let anything happen to me and I just sit and hope I get better. I'm very proactive when it comes to my health. So if you are experiencing some sort of weird itching or a smell or anything of that nature, you need to go to the gynecologist. I personally don't self-medicate when it comes to my health. So I know some girls may have, let's say, a yeast infection and they'll go and get something over the counter. If that happened to me, I'm going to the gynecologist. I'm getting a professional grade, whatever they prescribe for that, that's what I'm going to do. I don't really think that an over-the-counter thing is the best option. Does it work? Maybe. I have seen instances where my friends have told me that it has worked for them, but I personally have never been that way. I like to just do things the right way the first time and professionally. And also, if you have any sort of weird odor, smell, or irritation, and you let it sit and fester, it increases your chance of STIs, which also is known as sexually transmitted infections. So yeah, it's not a game. You guys definitely want to be very aware and proactive when it comes to your vaginal health. How to stay fresh all day. Someone also asked me how to stay fresh all day and going to see someone after work. Soap and water. That's it. I think that sometimes, I'm just saying, not accusing anyone, but sometimes people just try to figure out easy shortcuts to do things that there is no shortcut for. If you've been sitting around all day, it's summertime now, okay, you're sitting in a chair, moving around, sweating, you shouldn't stink, but I personally would never feel comfortable just trying to find a way to not use soap and water on myself if I knew that I had some sort of plan to see someone later. Even if I was just going to dinner with someone, I just wouldn't do that. That's personally just me. Soap and water, okay? Now, of course, on the other hand, you can use the wipes that I suggest, but I personally would just use soap and water. You guys have got to stop figuring out new ways to not shower. Like, I'm not accusing you. I'm not, but enough, right? You got to wash that thing. If you're out all day, 6 p.m., you're seeing someone, your boyfriend, whatever, 11 p.m., and you're like, I wonder what I could do to, basically smell like I just got out the shower. Shower to smell like you got out the shower. I know someone's upset right now. Like, someone's upset. But ask yourself, why are you mad? I'm just trying to help you guys. I really am. Again, foul odors, and please understand the point that I'm driving home, because I don't think some people really think that they even have an odor. Foul odors is a sign of an infection or poor hygiene. You guys are going to laugh when I say this. I know someone's going to have something to say about this, but someone once told me that basically a healthy vagina kind of smells like a warm tortilla or something, someone please tell me if they understand where I'm going with this. Like, I totally understood what he was saying. Does someone out there, anywhere, understand where I'm going with this? Because I understand. I digress. So how to shave. So again, fresh razor, exfoliate. I exfoliate before, and then I use a fresh razor, and you want to put some sort of conditioner or shaving cream, and then you hold the area taut and you shave in the direction of the hair, and then you shave the opposite direction of how the hair grows. Does that make sense? So now let's talk about health. How do you maintain a healthy vagina? All of these things. Everything starts with the number one foundation, which is what are you putting into your body? What are you consuming? I will put a link down to the medical medium, who I personally love. He has a book where he has tons of supplements and, things that help with overall health all over your body, but also people that deal with, yeast infections, UTIs, bacterial infections, and things of that nature. Eating fruits and vegetables, of course, and drinking water, of course, is going to give you overall better health and better vaginal health. And naturally, eating plant-based like myself, you don't produce the same type of odors as other people do because of what we consume. The primary basis of my diet is fruits and vegetables, primarily, and I eat a lot of it. So if you think about it like this, refined foods, very processed foods cause mucus in the body, and disease in general cannot exist or thrive in an alkaline body. They only exist in an acidic body. So when you're consuming more fruits and vegetables and eating plant-based, whole food plant-based, I want to be specific, you are adapting and creating a alkaline environment for your body. So if you're someone that consumes a lot of dairy and like cheese, because everybody loves cheese, it's going to even soy. I personally have stopped anytime I get coffee or something from Starbucks, I do not get it with soy milk anymore. I only choose the almond milk, and I try to stay away from soy as much as possible because soy is extremely genetically modified and it causes an increase in estrogen, and which can throw off your hormones and also makes you like sweat and just like it's gross. Just like dairy makes you smell, like it causes bad odors, mucus for one in the body, tonsil stones, bad breath. It's just gross, honestly. It's disgusting. And in the medical medium's book, Life-Changing Foods, he talks about the healing benefits emotionally and spiritually that various foods offer. So I would definitely check that book out. I personally have all his books. I think he's an incredible gift from God that he is able to provide all this information. Exercising. Purging your body of toxins as you are adapting a healthy lifestyle and creating healthier eating habits for yourself. Because of course, when you're drinking water and you're eating healthy, you need to make sure that everything is moving accordingly and purging out of your body. So you need to sweat, those toxins out. So yeah, I personally have a theory. A lot of the odors that people have and things of that nature come from not only very poor hygiene, but also very poor diet. You're sitting here drinking, Kool-Aid and eating hot Cheetos every single day, and that's why you have really bad breath, or that's why you are sweating like so excessively, because everything you eat, you have to just throw cheese on it. And you're eating like pork rinds and beef jerky and French fries all the time. And these things are not real food. They store in the body as toxins and fat, and they're basically foreign objects, basically, to the body. Even though they taste like food to us, our body doesn't really necessarily recognize them. So now let's get into what are the essentials. So of course, wipes, you guys already know, I love wipes. I do not travel without them. I don't date people that don't use wipes as well. I think it's weird. I don't understand it, so I don't want to understand it on their end. Use wipes. Also, guys, I basically created something on my own. I call it my poop kit. So essentially what it is poopery spray, and it is room spray from Bath and Body Works, something that's really strong and smells really good. And then I also carry wipes with me, and that is like my poop kit. It is incredible, guys. It really, really works. If you guys know, you spray the poopery into the toilet and then you poop and then you spray the room spray. I promise you, you will not smell it. All right. I had my friend go in the bathroom after me. She didn't smell anything but the actual really good smell. I even had her try it as well, because her and I have very different diets. Nothing. It's incredible. Okay, so I will also put that in the description box below. As you guys also know, if you don't know, I personally use Queen V Make It Rain soap currently right now as the soap that I use on my vag. It's very lightweight. It also is pH balanced as well. The ingredients are natural, for the most part, and it's a very tiny ingredient list as well, and it smells incredible, super lightweight. My friends use it, I use it. It's incredible. Try it out. Also, a rag or exfoliating gloves. As you guys know, I like to use exfoliating gloves to clean myself as well. I really like the gloves because it's kind of like using your hands, and you can really get in, everywhere and clean your body properly. So let's get into my routine now, because we just talked about questions and then we got a little scientific, and let's talk about specifically what it is that I do. So when I get into the shower, firstly, I just naturally always firstly wash my vag. Again, I use the Queen V Make It Rain body wash, foam soap, or you can honestly use plain hot water or warm water. You don't have to use soap down there per se, but I personally would never use things like Castle soap that people talk about or black soap. I would never use those types of soaps like down there. I have never done it, and personally I'm not really a fan of how Castle soap even really smells. I know that it is good for certain things, but I don't like the smell that it has. It smells a little weird, and I'm like a scent person, so I don't really like that. You want to use something that of course is very lightweight. So you want to make sure that when you get in the shower, you are cleaning. I clean it first or whatever. Let's say you put on your exfoliating gloves, right? And you, whatever, you like, let's say you're squatting, maybe let's say you're standing up. I would squat because you want to just zoom right in on that thing. You want to get as close as possible, okay? You want to just open it up. You want to make sure that you are cleaning every single crevice. So this is like your vag, right? Am I really doing this right now? This is like your vag, and then you have like the creases like where your legs are. Clean the creases, right? Wash the creases because that thing gets sweaty, that thing gets smelly too. Clean the creases. You also want to make sure you're pulling it back and you're cleaning every crevice, okay, of your vagina. We're still talking externally. We're only talking externally because you should not be cleaning in the actual hole or canal of anywhere. No soap should go in there. You are only cleaning the outside, right? Pulling back everything, checking out what's going on there, really cleaning it. All right, there should be no, anything on that thing, and it should not smell at all. Glad we got that out the way. I hope I make sense. I'm trying to be as G-rated as possible. I hope this thing doesn't get flagged. I'm just saying. And of course, you want to wash, front to back. You don't wash back first and then front. And again, when you're on your period, take little bird baths. If you can, have a little, soap with you, like put it in a little container that you could buy or whatever, and even take like a paper towel and just take water and just wash it up. It's really not that hard. You can do it in like a public bathroom, for crying out loud. Probably you can get away with it. It's really not that difficult, in all sincerity, to have a clean vagina or have vaginal health. The only issues that you will encounter is, one, when your hygiene is poor, when you are involved or intimate with people that have poor hygiene and multiple partners, and also if you are eating poorly, then you will start to encounter issues. Okay, you guys have to understand, you have to go the extra mile. Have realistic expectations. Like someone said to me also, how do I keep it smelling like perfume? And it's like, vaginas are not supposed to smell like actual perfume. You understand what I'm saying? It's supposed to have no smell per se, but everyone has their own kind of unique smell. You know what I mean? But all I know is that smell should not be pungent and unpleasant. It shouldn't be musty or metally or fishy or like stink. It shouldn't be any of those things. I'll tell you that much right now. And again, to rehash this, if you have an infection, it will not disappear. It is not going to go away. You need to go to the gynecologist. If you don't have a gynecologist, you should also visit your nearest Planned Parenthood so that you can get a pap smear done and make sure that everything is well down there. You need to let your vag breathe, especially at night. Okay? That's why, especially in the summertime, like, it's a hot girl summer, but I like to wear very just loose fitting, flowy type feminine clothes. It doesn't mean I don't wear form fitting things, sometimes, but you don't want to wear something that's always just like, covering it up and just like a suction cup or something. You want to just let that thing fly free. You know what I mean? Also, sleep cool. I sleep with the AC on every single night, all year round. Can I tell you? All right. That's how I stay well, honey. Okay? Yes, and in the wintertime, it is too. When you're sleeping, your body temperature increases. And that's why a lot of the times you'll wake up sweaty and just very hot. It's because the temperature in which you originally slept in was too warm of a condition to sleep in. And that's why you wake up sweating. Just a fun fact. Foods you can eat to help combat, fight infections, avoid infections. Kombucha. Pineapple also helps with mucus in the body. Strawberries help. Garlic, yes, shocking. Garlic also helps because it helps to fight infection. Now, when I'm giving you guys these tips, it doesn't mean, oh my gosh, so she said I could use garlic and like use all these things like kombucha, so I won't go to the gynecologist. I'm just gonna heal this thing on my own. Girl, if you don't go to the gyno and you have an issue, you have a problem. And it's not in Houston. It's down there. Check it out. Fix it. All right? And don't just depend on Jesus to fix it. God said faith without works is dead. Honey, have faith that going to the gyno, you could fix that thing. Not have faith on your own and try to just self-medicate. Yes, these are natural foods that I'm suggesting, but if you already have something, you need to fix that thing. When it comes to even, cranberries, people ask me, oh, should I use cranberries? Yes, cranberries are effective, but not ocean spray, right? Tropicana, okay? That is not real. Like, what did they say in Mean Girls where Regina was like, it's called the South Beach Fat Flush, and all you drink is cranberry juice for 72 hours. And then Aaron is like, it's not cranberry juice. This is like all sugar. And she goes, I want to lose 3 pounds. And it's like, Regina, hun, you totally missed the point. Like, it's fine. Like, you missed it. Like, he's saying that it has all sugar. It's not actual cranberry juice. And essentially, if you have a UTI or something like that, sugar actually increases the chances of a UTI and also enhances, the infection of a UTI as well. So keep that in mind. Also, when you are peeing, you want to make sure that you are thoroughly wiping that thing and keeping it dry. Even if you use a wipe, every time that you do it. I mean, sometimes I get really excessive and I do things like that. But I mean, just make sure that it's dry. Okay? Like, do me that little favor, please. Keep in mind for all, whoever may be sexually active out there, guys are not always going to tell you, it smells a little crazy right there. You need to not embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. You need to make sure that you're coming correct. Don't go hang out at the local bar all day, all right, and then come home and sleep with your boyfriend and be like, well, I mean, I wasn't even dancing that long. Sweetie, you're moving, you're active, you were sweating, you're drinking more than likely. Go shower. Go shower. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it when you wake up the next morning with a UTI or like some like mean yeasty and you're just like, why did this happen to me? Because you don't know how to shower. Because you didn't want to shower. I mean, are you well? I'm checking in. And then of course, zinc is a very, very, very powerful supplement to take. Please eat with it. You guys have your post notifications turned on, or if you are subscribed to me as well, which you should be, I'm checking, then you would know that I got really sick because I took vitamins and I didn't eat enough, I guess, and I was really ill. I mean, no, like I was really sick, guys, and I don't really get sick that often, especially with like nausea. I've only thrown up a total of 3 times in my entire life. Once when I was 5, once when I was 23, and now that I'm 25. My entire life, I swear. So that is the end of this video, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed. I know that you guys have been dying to see this. So hopefully I answered all your questions and I have delivered in the best way and the most G-rated way that I possibly can. Maybe I will do a podcast on this as well because the restrictions are a little bit different when it comes to podcasts. On YouTube, I have to be as G-rated as possible because anything, will get a video flagged or anything of that nature. So any other questions that you guys have, do not hesitate to put it in the comment section. And if you guys have any suggestions of things that you guys incorporate to your feminine hygiene routine as well, share it. Let's talk. Let's share tips amongst each other. As women, let's all help each other out. Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it pretty. Let's keep it quality queen-like because that's what we are on this channel. And with that being said, I love you and God loves you. And I will see you beautiful angels in my next video. Mwah.